Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It is time for our favorite segment, Education Matters. We are here with Dr. Craig Douglas. Thank you so much, Dr. Douglas, for being here today. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Good morning. So today we're talking about standardized testing for K through 12th grade students. I know, Dr. Douglas, my daughter and son just had NWEA testing last week, and they felt pretty good about that. So, Dr. Douglas, what has changed when it comes to standardized testing?
Well, it's been a rocky road with the pandemic, and I want to acknowledge and thank the educators who helped me with this segment: Frankenmuth Superintendent Adele Martin and Carleton Principals Tiffany Peterson and Sarah Coates. I ran this stuff by them because this has been changing so quickly, as you well know as a mom. So you'll recall the old MEAD tests were replaced about 6 years ago by a new set of tests called M-STEP.
Yes.
M-STEP is an abbreviation that stands for Michigan Student Test of Educational Process, M-STEP. And it's designed to measure student achievement using a lot of modern techniques, software, and it's done by computer largely. There are paper and pencil options, but most students use computers. So at that time, it was instituted. Number 2 pencils were traded for mouse pads and computer screens. Then, over a year ago, March 2020, the pandemic hit, and just like the NCAA basketball tournament, M-STEP was canceled.
Oh, wow.
This current school year unfolded with all the peaks and valleys of the pandemic. The future of M-STEP was uncertain until just about a month ago, when it was determined the test would be given. So for schools and students, it means testing windows have begun to open up. A big challenge with the pandemic underway. So the purpose of my segment is to offer some suggestions for students and parents who may be facing M-STEP during the spring. First, I urge parents and students to remain calm. I often say that, but it can be stressful to take any kind of standardized test, but especially during a pandemic. So try to look at the tests as challenges and not obstacles, and reduce the stress accordingly. It's a stretch goal, but that mindset of looking at these as challenges will lead to better outcomes and happier people for everyone involved.
You definitely have to do that for your kids too, Dr. Douglas. That's so important because they get really stressed out as young people. They're, oh my gosh, I have this test, what do I do? So it's very important. I think that's very key to reiterate.
It is. Yeah. Simple things like just taking a deep breath and trying to relax and pacing themselves.
Yes.
Second, students and parents should be really certain about logistics. With testing windows being opened up, there'll be some grades that will be tested very quickly and others later. And in fact, I learned from my colleagues that the window for testing was actually extended because of the pandemic for grades 3, 4, 6, and 7. So it's important that everyone know about the logistics. Even those students in remote instruction, they may be able to take the M-STEP by coming in to school to take it. The bottom line is the testing window is set. It's school by school, grade by grade, and everyone needs to become informed regarding what the specific school is doing. So knowing what's being tested and when, that's crucial. Third, when taking the test, students should be certain about the testing instructions. To be honest with you, they can be convoluted, Colette.
Yes, that's very true.
It's critical to ask if the students are not clear about what they're expected to address, rather than guessing. Students sometimes want to guess just to, quote, get it over with. Not a good strategy. They really need to slow down, make sure they know what's being asked. And then finally, reach out to your child's teacher for any questions about matters such as logistics, and later to helping to interpret the results. Looking at the scores this year, everyone knows the pandemic has had an impact. It'll be interesting to see what the data looks like, and more importantly, on the suggestions that experts have to make in terms of renewing that path of student learning and growth in more normal times. Pandemic, doggone tough. Let's not make the M-STEP compound it with another frustration. Instead, let's just all do our best to get through it and make the best of it during these spring months.
Great tips, Dr. Douglas. Again, thank you so much. It's so important to let our kids know when you get in there to take the test, take a deep breath, exhale. You've got this. It's not the end of the world. You can do it. Thank you, Dr. Douglas. Appreciate you this morning.
Take care. Be well.
You as well, Dr. Douglas. For more information about today's topic, check out the school source page. That's at WNEM.com.